Kloudfuse provides unified views for telemetry data like logs, metrics, and spans. This data is linked and shown in unified service views for service monitoring and quick debugging. I'll walk you through some examples. To begin, we are on the trace list view, which lists out the spans associated with the trace. From this view, you can click on the service directly to get into the service details view. You could also get to this view by going into the service list and navigating to the service that is of interest to you. Within this service view, you can see red metrics that are being generated by the service. These are automatically calculated using the span data that is being received from the service. This span data can also be correlated to other streams like logs and metrics, and I will demonstrate that to you shortly. To start, we can view the raw traces by clicking the trace tab. There are many options here which let you look at different types of spans associated with the service. You could also focus only on error spans by looking at the errors only. To correlate this data with any logs generated by the service, we can go into the logs tab, which automatically correlates logs coming out of that service and giving it in one single view under the service detail page. You can click on any of these log lines to get more information about the logs itself. So in this case, you can see that there are multiple log lines coming out of the ad service. These log lines could be very meaningful and help debugging errors whenever they're received by service. You also have other labels that you can filter on, and this could also be used to inject into the logs system to narrow down search for your logs. We can also correlate this data with infrastructure metrics. To do that, go to the Infra tab. This particular demo is running on a Kubernetes environment, and so we can see pod data, node data, and volume data associated with that infrastructure. To look at the pod metrics, you can simply click on pod metrics, and we provide pod read and pod use metric related dashboards in this view. We also detect any outliers and highlight them in the charts provided here. Similarly, we can look at the node level data, which is mainly any node usage or node CPU usage or node memory usage that we are looking at. This node could be running multiple containers and pods, and so this is the overall aggregated metric associated with the node. We also can get runtime metrics from the application itself. So in this case, ad service is a Java service. So we get Java related metrics coming out of the JVM in this view. You can see there is heap usage metrics. You can see garbage collection details here. You can see other metrics like thread count and number of threads running, everything associated with the JVM application metrics that are being generated by the ad service. To contrast this, let me also show you checkout service, which is written in a different programming language. And if you go to the runtime metrics here, you can see that it is instead showing you Golang related metrics here. Golang has a different set of metrics that it emits, and we have created pre-canned dashboards for you to be able to view these metrics in a single view. Another thing to note is that we automatically detect the framework that is sending this data and the associated metrics related to that framework, which means for Java, we detect the JVM metrics. For Golang, we detect the metrics emitted by Golang. For Python, we detect the metrics sent by Python. So there is no additional configuration that is required to be able to view these metrics once the setup is done for the APM telemetry. Finally, if the service is using disk or PVC, those metrics are available under infrastructure volumes. With that, we have gone through a unified view of a particular service and the traces, logs, infrastructure metrics, and runtime metrics associated with it. With this unified view, it is easier to debug errors and performance issues. You no longer have to use multiple tools to get important telemetry signals coming out of your service. It is all available to you in a single unified view.